Alan McMurray.
Oh, whoops.
It's okay. Tara Alcock, we're on video, so. It's fine.
Mary Ellen Anderson.
Barb Fitt. Now cheers for Deb.
Deborah,
Okay, all right, so, on approval of the minutes, we have two. On A, I just have a question for Tara. On that grant that you applied for, did you apply for it?
What's the title? of the grant?
Oh, it was the one for your tenure, for the, I mean, for your.
It was determined I am not eligible.
Oh, darn, okay.
Because the library is not a nonprofit, it's a unit government. I applied for a I wanted to apply for a sabbatical grant, and the Rasmussen Foundation was encouraging me to do it.
Right,
But then I went to actually fill out the application, like, I don't think they really understand. I don't think I'm eligible, so, you know. Win some, lose some.
yeah, okay, that was my
Yeah.
question on.
Thanks for
A.
bringing it up. I'd forgotten to mention it.
No, that's
Okay.
okay. And then does anybody else have any issues with the minutes? I entertain a motion to accept the minutes, please.
I entertain a motion to accept both or just the first one.
Oh, I suppose we should do them separate.
Okay, then, the minutes from May 21st.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor? Okay, opposed? All right, so minutes from the July 23rd, meeting, 2024. Is there a motion to approve those meetings?
I move that we approve the meetings for the July 23rd, 2024 meeting.
Second,
Second.
All in
Sorry,
favor?
I'll let you do the next one.
all those in
I don't think
favor?
Marilyn can second.
Oh,
I think. as-
no, I
No,
meant
she was talking.
Julie's trying very quietly over there to
But-
participate.
yeah,
I'm
think
just
Julie-
bossing, you know.
Okay, all those in favor? Okay, opposed? All right, so now is there amendment? And then we need approval for the. Oh, so
That's what
we
we just
want,
did.
do we want to put on there about the election?
Yeah.
So where do we put that under new business?
Let's put that under new business. 70, no, I forgot it,
So it'd be 7D.
70.
Okay. Okay, any other amendments? Okay, so I need a motion now to approve the meeting agenda.
So moved.
I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, persons to be heard related to the agenda. I can see her lips moving, but she's talking to somebody there. Okay, unrelated to the agenda. All right, done with that. Now, staff report.
Okay,
You are on,
that's a big one.
it is, but it's really, really
It
good.
didn't even cover everything. Things missing. Okay, so we are open on Mondays.
Yay! There's a bunch of days here.
Yeah, folks were very kind about the fact that we needed to make that change. And as you guys know, it was the staffing issues.
Yeah,
Which we still have a few, but they're not quite as bad, so we can reopen, yay.
That's great.
So that's nice. Good news, Barb Stelz was hired into a full-time position.
Great.
I know I can't, or the pinch me.
Can I put in a good word for her? She
Yeah.
was really good during the, book sale.
Right,
Very, very.
she was your point person for the book
Yes,
sale, yeah,
yeah, she was.
yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, so you know what exactly her job is, it's a little nebulous right now. Basically, we're just trying to find out where her, match her skills to suit what our needs are. But one thing you will see in this report is programming and working with you specifically, but also adult programming are her interests. And so that's one direction that she's headed in. She's really great. So it'll expand our programs. Beth started back in September.
That's
She works
really good.
about 4 to 5 hours a week right now, always off the public desk,
Oh,
always when
okay.
we're closed.
okay.
And so we're so thrilled.
Yes.
She's back.
And is that her request to not be intermingled with the public yet? Or-
Yeah, because
Okay.
her immune system is not
Oh, gotcha.
great.
Okay.
And also, just relearning a lot of the stuff.
Uh-huh.
She's having to relearn a lot of stuff and,
Okay,
Yeah, so we're just taking baby steps and just so
Sure.
happy to have her back,
Yeah,
even in a limited capacity. Kari attended a joint library conference. This was the Alaska Library Association and the Pacific Northwest Library Association Conference. It was held in Juneau, so it was nice and close. Kari wrote the grants to get her
Nice.
way paid, which is fabulous. And she's worked in libraries for how many years? I want to say like 15. Never been to
You've
conference.
never been to one? Those,
Never
those
been to
conferences are fabulous. I used to
So,
love going.
yeah.
You come home with so many ideas.
Yeah, and she has, she's
And all those
great, and lots
connections.
of connections to people and faces, because as Alaska library community, we communicate a lot.
Yeah.
But sometimes you never ever meet the people you're
Mhm.
communicating with, and so it was great.
that's wonderful that she got. to go.
Yeah, I'm really glad she got to go. Hopefully it's not her. only
Especially this
conference.
year with the PNLA here.
Yeah,
In
right.
Alaska, so she could do both. That's
Yeah.
great.
So this summer, I'd like to thank Jenny and Matt for keeping our grounds looking great. It was so wonderful to be able to pull Jenny in for help.
Yeah,
Because horse tails they were out of control.
Yeah, they do that.
always.
Yeah, once they start, it's hard to stop them, so
Mhm.
it's been fantastic to have both of them, and I think the grounds look.
Are
better.
they volunteering? Or is
No,
this-
these are paid positions, yeah, so both of them are doing great and keeping it looking a lot better than it has been in the last few years.
Good.
Summer reading programs, as usual, the biggest programs of the year. We did great with fundraising.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, First Bank, again, was a major funder, but as usual, sort of the same businesses and individuals and civic organizations, really generous donations. And we don't even cast a particularly broad net when we ask for donations. We have this sort of little mailing list that we've built over the years, and we're gonna try and cast it a little wider. I
You
think.
know, I don't know if I have, lately, I haven't, last however many years, I don't get that letter.
Yeah,
I
so we're gonna cast it in a little wider. Kari and I have
Come
a
in and
plan
do
to
it.
kind of,
Yeah,
I think we only sent about 200 letters.
Well, we got a letter, and that's what motivates me to, oh, yeah, that's happening, and.
right,
Mhm. Yeah, so we're gonna expand that a little
Good.
bit. Next year, in part because summer reading program, as you know, is a ton of work. It's very complicated sometimes.
yeah,
And so Kari kind of feels like the foundation is solid. As of this year, we have a solid foundation for how the programs work.
right,
And so she can kind of look a little bit broader at things like our donors and new ways to potentially thank them. It's another conversation that she and I are gonna have this spring. So 3 programs: Baby Shrimp, Stream, and Go Wild. So little kids, school age kids, and teens and adults. Those are
so
3 programs.
I put a on the Go Wild, because why do you think the participation or the completion was down?
You know, I'm not sure. I meant to ask Kari that. I'm not exactly,
Did you
Sure,
have
the
nicer
details.
the normal time of summer?
yeah, I mean,
I can't
it
figure
It was a one sunny day.
Yeah,
it could have been that. I think it is hard to capture people's attention.
Yeah.
In a continuous way. in
well,
summertime.
and with the 13 and up, some of them are working and adults are more busy. I mean, it's
Yeah.
different than in the winter when we have reading program.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see an age breakdown.
Yeah,
Completion.
that's true.
Hmm.
Yeah, to see if teens are completing, not completing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wonder if they should be in a separate category.
4 programs might be too much.
Okay. Okay. Well, I wasn't thinking of I mean, it would
Just
be.
for statistics?
Yeah,
Yeah.
my thought wasn't
Oh.
necessarily being that it would be different than the adults, but it'd be separate from the
Yeah.
adults, so that you could, you know.
Yeah, we can ask them their ages and fill
Yeah.
out. I don't know if we did ask their ages actually when they register, but if we were to ask their ages, then we could easily do that kind of
Fair
breakdown.
enough, that.
And I wonder if for kids, if they might feel intimidated that there's adults in their program, and maybe they think that adults would read more, or, I don't know. Maybe, do you think that,
I'm not sure that's ever been
Okay,
something.
How about the number of participants? Was that about normal, 84?
I think that was about consistent. Yeah. But we did change the stream, the big program. The
Right.
School age, or elementary program. And we had a much bigger, completion rate, which was really, exciting to see.
that is exciting.
So in the past, for those of you who've been through here in the summers, we have like big prizes.
Right.
One, big prize, or it's actually about 60 big prizes. So the majority of kids earn a prize, but then some kids don't. And
Right,
it can be a rocky process.
Yeah.
One sibling wins, the other doesn't. The
Yeah.
one that doesn't has read more.
yeah,
Oh,
It could be heartbreaking.
ouch.
So, yeah, so Murray and Barb hatched this new way to do it. And so we gave out things, a lot, they were camping related, so like little multi-tools that were shaped like a Sasquatch.
yes.
Little collapsible buckets, so everybody could get something.
I think we have some of those at the grounds at my daughter's house.
Yeah, probably you do. So that actually worked out really, really well. As it turns out, it's hard to predict how much of something you need and all that stuff, but
Right,
we had a little workaround. If we ran out of something, then there was a gift certificate for a local business that would be a stand-in if we ran out.
oh, perfect.
Yeah, so it was nice to see the completion rate go up.
There's some details here that are interesting. 30 in-person programs were offered with a total of attendance. So that had to do with the lunch program.
Some of it had to do with the lunch
Or the
program,
breakfast.
but they had a whole, or yeah, it was breakfast, wasn't it? But they had a whole bunch of other programs that they did, yeah.
And 29 caregivers participated. And so that's it. I'm going back to the most important one we started out with back here. So that's a once a week thing, right?
Baby shrimp,
Yeah,
that's self-paced. I think there's certain number of weeks, it is week by week in the sense that there's 6, I
Mhm.
think, chances to participate. You can do it all in 1 week if you were to want to.
Oh,
Yeah, and what Corey had them do this for, which is also very interesting, and I did not put it on my report, is part of that was that caregivers, there was like videos from like Harvard or something about age appropriate play. And one of the things she asked folks to do was watch these little videos.
Oh.
So it
okay.
was, so there's an educational component for
Sure.
caregivers. It wasn't just about reading
Yes,
to your
that's
child.
good.
So
That's
that was
good.
kind of a neat thing to see.
Us baby boomers are having to relearn how to raise children now.
It's not hard to look
Right,
at that.
Mary Ellen?
It's
It's
so
amazing what
funny.
we don't know.
Yeah, I get scolded
A
now.
little different.
You didn't strap her into that little chair thing. I was like, I'm standing right here. I'm putting her in for 2 seconds. It's like,
More to come, Mary Ellen.
hey, they may have made it alive.
safety last. That was my thought.
So the science camp, every year we partner with Sunny at the advisory program with this summer science camp. It's for middle schoolers. It's a week-long camp. They go out and do stuff. This year Kari was a big part of it in the sense that she went out almost every day with them and, hiked 3 lakes, did the Hungry Point search, and she didn't do the Stikine River trip though. Poor Kari, that was probably the fun.
Oh,
But it was really neat to hear about what they did. Very hands-on, very science focused, and a large Forest Service participation. So I think we had Eric Castro and Emil, walk up Elmer Creek with them.
Nice.
It's a great program. It's gonna look a little different next year just because it's super labor intensive.
how many kids?
It was full, so 10.
10?
Yeah. So it'll look a bit different next year, and we'll probably be even more integrated with our summer reading program. I think that's the plan.
I love that they're pulling in like Eric and Emil, because when the kids this is middle school. So it just is giving them, people to look to that aren't just in fishing. That there's opportunities you can do to go off and get educated, do things that still be in your hometown if you want. But you don't have to be fishing, which is what, not that, there's nothing wrong with fishing, but you understand what I'm saying. It's really a great thing.
Yeah,
It's really great.
it is really great. So it will emerge in a slightly different form
Okay,
next year. Let's see. I have talked to you guys in the past about Kari's partnership with the Sealaska Heritage Institute. She's part of a large grant that they got that involves Sitka, Juneau, and Haynes, and they created these curriculums for public library cultural events for children ages 0 through 5. And I don't know if you guys have seen the posters for Brandy Happy, they're adorable, a picture of Brandy.
I got to go.
Oh,
2
and you
weeks
got to
ago.
go?
I brought Nico, who's not even 2, so it was interesting. I mean, he, kind of listened to the story, but they said 0 on up, so we were there.
Yeah,
And it was she did a nice job, the book, what, the kids that were there were younger, I think maybe 3 and under, around,
Yeah.
so the book, she said, there's big words about, so I won't be reading the whole book, she was just sort of
Mm.
telling the story of the book, which was good.
Yeah.
Cause you could lose them. And then there was,
Absolutely.
some crafts to do, it was very, it
Yeah.
was good, very good.
Yeah.
She did a nice job.
yeah, it's a combination of reading and activities.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's fun that we're part of that. Curtis
Yes,
put a
I
lot
think
of
it's a great
work into
thing.
that, yeah. Okay, so what else? We're doing more story times. The regular one for the public, which has been rebranded Wiggles and Giggles, so that we get kids that can't actually sit for a story,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because we want them.
Mhm.
And also she is doing, one for Good Beginnings Preschool and for Head Start when we're closed. So,
That's so
That's
nice.
yeah.
Doesn't she go there? Or does it?
I think in the, when it's, the weather is walkable for the little people.
Right,
They come
I
here,
can't remember
and
my-
soon when it is not, Cory will go to them.
okay.
Oh, that's nice.
Right,
Yeah.
it's like, I was thinking that well, I can't remember if they walked down from.
Right now, they're coming here, so we hear them all in the children's room, although hardly, that children's room is fabulous, you can hardly hear what's going on. There's
Yeah.
20 kids in there, and I probably
Yeah.
hardly know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so, the Christmas tree.
Yes.
You guys have heard about the Christmas
Oh,
tree
yeah.
in Wrangle?
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so, yeah, so both Pia and Marianne Rainey led some ornament making sessions, and they were both fantastic. Pia's class, they painted bears, and in Marianne's class, they made Tlingit ornaments. And that actually turned into something quite wonderful, and Marianne's class turned into something that was like, I think it had 3 sessions,
Mhm.
and
They're beautiful. I was
God, I
here
wish
the
I
time when
could
they
have
were
done
doing
that.
it, and
They're
I took a
beautiful.
photo of
Yeah.
that. They're beautiful.
yeah,
Mhm.
they're wonderful. They're all going to Washington. I think I heard that Marianne's going there as well.
Good for her.
Yeah. I think I may have misspelled her name on here, so apologies for that. I think it has an E. Yeah, so let's see, Barb's programming. She started off her first program with French flower beading, which is an instructor, Terry Robson. She was visiting in town. She has family in town, and she offered to do this class.
Oh,
And so that
cool.
was one of Barb's sort of first interacting with the instructor and going through that whole process that we
French.
have.
Flower beading.
Yeah, like.
The picture
Sounds really
It's
intense.
very tiny.
Tiny
Seed
beads.
beads.
Picture on the
Seed
website.
beads.
They look beautiful.
They're beautiful,
So-
but very meticulous.
Are they like a flower standing separate, or is it a beading onto fabric?
It's a
making
flower
flowers?
standing separate.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I don't think I look like
I know, I can, because I do.
I had pretty good attendance.
So
So
good for Barb. So,
Yeah.
so there was, what did she say, 9? Okay.
9 people participated. It's probably the first beading class we've ever had, because we've never had a teacher. So
Uh-huh.
it was good to see that there was interest in it.
Okay.
Hopefully we can do it again. Barb's also teaching Crafty Science, which is an after-school program for kids 7 through 10. They do science crafts with recycled materials, and it's been very well received. It's nice to see a good mix of boys and girls.
Good.
To attract some of our regular boys, and more are planned for the future. In October, both she and Cory did a stuffy sleepover.
Yes.
We did one of these at the old library, and we haven't done one since, and it
He
was
told me about
Oh,
it.
yeah.
And
It was
my-
horrible.
adorable.
Oh, adorable.
Big difference.
It was horrible. Wait a minute, it was good.
They did, it was so, they took pictures of the stuffies instead of the
Yeah.
kids, because my
That's a
grand's
great idea.
stuffies
Yeah.
were there.
Yeah, you know,
Very
like
cute.
Stuffy's photocopying their faces on the
Yeah.
photocopier. Yeah. It's pretty funny. Get
There
to
we
know
go.
them.
Wow.
Yeah. Stuffies. Yeah, her and Cory had a lot of fun posing the
Yeah.
stuffies.
I bet.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Let's see, and also they hosted first teen game night.
Great, that was brave.
Yeah, I know, it was very brave.
17.
17 kids attended.
Ages
And-
6 to 10.
Yeah, ages 6 or 10,
Great.
so it was quite a.
Grade 6 to 10.
Grades. Big difference.
That's right, great, but even
Yeah.
that would be, that's a big span though too,
Yeah.
because sixth grade, a lot of them are still 12, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's,
Wow.
12 to 16,
Good for them.
17.
Yeah, and they were helped by Gus Pennington,
Nice.
and Gus Peterson as
uh-huh,
well.
Perfect.
Yeah, so that went really well and more are planned for the future.
cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's it. There's one thing I forgot to put on there, which is digital navigators. We've started a digital navigator program. So some of you may know that Chris has always been available for Tech Help, and it's sort of, we sometimes advertise it, we sometimes forget. And, but now there's this big development in libraries where this is through the affordable, forgetting the word right now, but a lot of the connectivity money that came out during
Yes.
COVID.
Mhm.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I forget.
Affordable Care Act?
No,
No, that's
that's what
the-
wants to come out of my mouth, but it's not the right
That's
thing.
not-
But anyway, so there's been this whole development of this area of digital navigators in libraries.
Oh,
And
nice.
so,
a
Kari
natural
and
fit.
Barb and Chris all did some research and did a little bit of training. And now we are advertising that we have a digital navigator program. So you can basically just book time.
Mhm.
You can go on the website and book time or call us or send us an email. And then we'll match whoever up with whatever it is, like Barb's better at Macs, and so.
Right,
Mac
that's true.
issues.
So you have the option of Macs or
Yeah,
window, or, yeah.
yeah, just basic stuff
Acer.
for folks that are having trouble with, I mean, simple things like setting up emails can be a real
Mhm.
obstacle to operating in the modern world. So, yeah, so we're doing a couple a week, I think, of these.
I have a friend who signed up for it. I don't know if she's done it yet or not. I'll ask her.
That's great.
Yeah,
We've
so,
been needing that. That came out of that one
Wonderful.
with the Haynes gals who were
Mhm.
planning, future planning.
That's right. yeah,
That was a long time.
yeah.
That
And
was
Chris has
awesome.
always been available, but we've just never had such a great name and marketed it in the way that we're doing.
Well,
now.
and she's not maybe as comfortable with Macs either.
Also, yeah, by
There's
expanding
that.
how many people we
Yeah.
have doing it, we expand that knowledge base.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay.
That's, okay, thank you. Anybody else have questions of Tara about the report? Okay. So unfinished business, the election, the 2 3-year terms, so Alec McBurn, and we're welcoming Julie Spiegelmar to the board.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Gratitude.
Yeah.
Thank you for,
Yes.
thank you for agreeing to donate your time, because it is donation. There's fines. But here's to the absolute, oh my gosh, the new business. What do we do, John McCabe? What do we do in this one?
It's amazing.
I know.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So he's now donated another $36,000, and in April, he had donated 12,000.
Well, it's right here.
It's-
Yeah, I mean, it's just. I don't know,
He's almost up to 200,000.
yeah,
That's a lot.
I still think that our town doesn't get it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they don't understand how much this man is doing and what we use it for.
Yeah.
I mean, and how it's for the kid, I mean, I'm just in awe of what he's doing. And then it's gonna be there forever,
But he
you know, for
doesn't,
years and my
he
grandkids.
doesn't really want a lot of recognition. Am
No,
I
he
getting that
doesn't.
right?
No, every once in a while I'll think of an idea, like doing a listening project interview with them. Alec and I
Yeah,
came up with that idea the last time we were in the town, but John just.
he doesn't want to.
He thought about
Well-
it and he said, no, it's not.
If that's the way he
Yeah.
wants it, that's okay.
Yeah,
We just get to talk about it almost every meeting, cause
Yeah.
even though, I mean, 2 years ago, he said, this is my last donation. 3 months later, another 10,000. He's like the Energizer Bunny with money, me. It's fantastic.
It is.
Okay. So there's a letter for.
a letter
the
for you
board
to
chair
sign at the end of the meeting.
Okay,
And if you guys could vote on accepting those.
That's what I was gonna ask you.
Oh,
We
good,
need a
good.
motion on this one. We need a motion to accept the donation from Joss.
I move that we accept the donation from John.
Second that. Okay, there's been a first and a second. All those in favor?
I,
Opposed? Okay, thanks, Deb. Okay, so now the art education endowment funding request. Do you want me to read this part of it right here, or do you just want to go? Okay.
I think it's a good idea for the record.
Okay.
Yeah,
An amount not to exceed $4,350 is requested from the art education endowment for the following programs. The total spendable balance of the fund is $12,296 dollars, and the library receives roughly $3,000 to $4,000 annually in new spendables. So next page, we have the following programs. Funds will be used for instructors' fees and supplies. And we're asked to go over the guidelines before we do the consider the request. For me, I suppose, is Common Drive new? Or have we had that one before?
we've done some common drawing before, yeah.
Okay, so for me, I sort of looked at it and said, we've done all of these before, so I have to admit, I didn't go read it. Again,
Oh, the main reason that the board is asked to review the guidelines is for compliance.
oh, okay,
Cause
Oh,
you guys are
gosh.
like the watchdogs for compliance.
we are,
You know, so do these programs that are proposed fit the criteria? Of course, I think they do, I wouldn't bring them to you, but you're like,
Right.
it's like a checks and balances thing. Make sure that they comply.
right.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, I have a question about the watercolor workshop.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like we're paying P enough. I mean, $200 isn't even $100 a day.
That's not what we pay her.
that's,
We pay our instructors $100 an hour.
Okay, so so then what are all the numbers behind the,
That's the amount requested from the art education endowment. So for instance, the watercolor workshop, people pay.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, they're paying.
So,
fee.
and also we have, so we have an instructor fee and we have supplies. And
Okay.
then, so we have one source of revenue, which is fees for the class. And so the $200 is the difference between what our anticipated
Gotcha.
costs and what our
Okay.
anticipated revenues are.
I
So,
was like,
yeah, that's a good
gotta
question.
be
It's not very
paid
clear.
more.
Yeah.
Because we have talked, one other time we did increase when we were like, no, that person has to get paid more, but anyway, okay.
We're trying to
perfect.
standardize our instructor fees.
So everybody gets
$100.
paid 100,
and then
Yeah,
perfect,
plus you have to cover the cost of all the items that are involved with
yeah, the supplies
the supplies.
can be,
right, like Gus's class, because it's for kids and teens, we pay for all the supplies. Out of the art and health.
yeah, so there'll be no revenue for.
Right.
For,
Maybe, it'd be nice, maybe next time if you put no revenue, so we know.
Yeah.
So we could know that,
yeah, I can. do that.
because, that's one of the points of to make sure that kids have free.
Yeah, I don't know if we've ever charged for teen or children's
Right.
programs.
Right.
Sort of just a, so no.
That's
no
what I
go.
tell everyone at the book sale.
Yeah.
that it's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
always free.
And then do you think that we need to think about, I mean, we can, as adults that, are doing okay in the world, we assume that all adults have the opportunity, but do we need to think about maybe having some kind of a scholarship for people that don't have the extra funds to take Pia's workshop and would really like to? We've never discussed that. I don't know. Is that something that should come from the Friends of the Library?
Well, just right off the top, not even thinking that much, I think it's. I like the idea, everybody likes the idea that I talked to, that it's going to kids and teen programming.
Right,
That is a plus. And if I were to include adult programming in that, I don't know how it would go over.
and I don't know why that popped in my head right now, but it did, and we've never talked about it, I mean.
Well, I'm
And-
thinking of people especially, I like the idea, first of all, because I'm thinking elders who may be
Yeah.
on restricted incomes need something to do, might
Right.
want to do it, but they can't afford.
That actually brings us to the last two things on the list.
Oh,
The
okay.
creative, yes.
Creative aging, so both Prairie and Bark have been doing some workshops and learning about this area of libraries. Where there is creative aging program, and this is
Ooh.
programming for ages 55 and up.
Okay.
These programs would be free.
Oh, they are free, okay.
So this creates a category of free
Okay.
programming.
Okay, yes, it would.
Yeah,
And then, yeah,
so
As
it's
far
free to
as-
the person.
It's free to the
Yeah,
participant.
there's no charge.
There's no charge.
Okay.
It's would be subsidized by the Art Education Endowment.
I do like the idea of having something scholarship available, but it would be, might be complex to
I know. 'Cause who decides?
organize.
But you don't need a scholarship for this. 'cause
No,
there's
you don't.
charge.
But I mean,
But
that,
if you want to do PS.
right.
Yes.
Or you wanna do the
PT.
writing workshop.
Yeah, or the writing workshop, yeah.
And there have been occasions where Orin knows a writer and lets an extra writer in.
Yeah, in fact, that's in his email.
Cindy Rogers takes PS class. It's
Right.
actually our way of, she takes every class Pia teaches,
Uh-huh.
because she volunteers at the library every
Yeah.
Wednesday and
Mhm.
has for
Yes.
forever. And so, that's our way of thanking her for.
I know, it'd be so complex because we'd have to have somebody that would decide who's qualified.
Hmm.
Which is so hard because then you have to say, well, really, do you, I mean, yeah. look, I'm
Would
glad
we-
about that.
Could we have somebody from from the Petersburg Foundation handle the scholarships or not actually handled by library staff? I don't know.
If we decide that's something.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Who could handle?
Tara, have you had any adults, ask,
Yeah.
you know, like, can I get a lower fee?
No, I don't know if we
afford-
have any had any questions like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the reason,
maybe
for the
we're-
reason Mary Ellen says, I think I'm very hesitant to wade into the waters of
Yeah.
what people can afford.
I know.
Yeah,
Very muddy waters.
It
can
is
be
muddy
very
waters,
awkward.
yeah.
too.
Yeah, very awkward, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah,
Because there's actually a whole scale if you're talking about and participation and making things available. Because there's, you know, I assume that like Sarah is gonna have it here at the library.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's like a scale of interest and availability of people. People are aging, have good days and bad days. It's almost like you have to be there on a regular basis. For when somebody's ready to plug in and be, like, be ready to, like, have the hood show sometimes.
Yeah.
yeah, and these are going to be 4-session classes,
Okay,
you know,
Wow.
to sort of accommodate that.
Well, what I'm saying is that there's another, it's kind of like you can't incorporate this whole, everything into what's happening here.
Right.
There's another, need, or there's another way to, addressing some of the things we're talking about, you know, having the money to do it, and so. Yeah, I'm saying, it does sound like another sort of a bubble of ideas, apart from what,
Yeah.
what's often here. Just to put that in perspective a little bit, you know, so, you know, shoot, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hire another person.
And the creative aging thing will open up,
A door.
fee-free classes, and actually, as you said, I thought, maybe we should have watercolor, maybe PS do a 4-session water class.
Sure.
Just in that category,
Yes.
and then we do it.
Yes.
55 and over.
55 and over, and then
Yes.
that
Yeah.
actually might be a way, because I met her classes very well liked, and I can see
Well,
other might be people.
Because we're only using a third of the amount we have available this year.
Yeah, and that's actually, it's a little hard to explain, but the $12,000 number that you see, that's
Mm.
accumulated, that's money that we get about 3 to 4 a year.
Oh, gotcha.
So if we
right.
were to spend $12,000 this year, we would zero out the
You'd have-
zeros, and
right.
next year we'd only have 4 to spend, probably,
Right.
because that's roughly what we're gonna be getting, although that grows every year as John makes more donations.
But so if we say Pia agreed to do a 55 and over, she would put, what is her, limit on her, classes? Is it 10?
I think right now we are at 13.
Okay,
for
because
classes.
we would have an idea, so we know how much money, I mean, that we would be expending. So that would, and then we would, anyway, so I think that's a good thing to look into.
Yes.
Yeah,
I really do.
yeah, let's see if she's interested, and I think that also it came up, maybe we would have Orin do writing classes, so it's like a mirror
Yes.
of the paid classes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then maybe he could focus on memoir writing, and writing down memory.
oh, that'd be great.
I know, we're hoping he's game, I shouldn't go on record, but with this is an idea we have for somebody else. I think he'd be really good at it.
Well, yeah, and,
That's a great idea.
yeah. For sure, okay,
Do we need to approve?
Yes,
yes.
definitely.
Thank you, Marianne.
Mhm.
So, could I entertain a motion to, not exceed 4,350 as a funding request from our art and education endowment for classes?
So moved.
I second it.
All those in favor?
I-
Opposed? Okay, great. These are all great classes.
Yes, they are.
Really great. And what I really like too is that basically, you're incorporating almost all of your staff in doing different classes. That's really
That's
cool
true,
too.
yeah.
And of course, others from the community, but that's really good. Okay, C, minor library card application. The library card application for minor who is 17 and younger has been updated with a system for the borough attorney. It was included here for informational purposes. It's really good.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
brought this to you guys because it has come up sometimes, because we all know this is definitely one of the difficult areas for libraries, what children check out.
Yes.
And here,
Yes.
now you can see what that looks like from
Yeah.
the perspective of a parent or guardian as they're entering into this agreement with us when we issue that card. It's not substantially changed from the one that we've had for years now. It's
Right.
just a little, the legal language has just been shored up a little.
But it's good for us to see it again. I
Yeah.
mean, I read through the whole thing and that's, I mean, right off the bat, it tells them that they have to, they're saying they're solely responsible for monitoring everything. And then under that, it goes on to, say that they acknowledge this, and so it's spelled out.
Is this something if I have a question about this from someone, I could show them this?
Absolutely, it's a public
Okay,
document.
good.
There's always copies available at the front desk.
I just want to say, I read through this as well, and I totally agree with what everybody's saying. It's
Yeah.
fabulous. And and I'm glad that the parent has to sign it, and I'm just wondering, just as a practice to, once they've signed it and the minor has been given a library card, is maybe give the parent a copy of what they've just signed. And
Oh,
just as a way of heading
Yes.
off any
good
other
idea.
questions or controversies later on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Adults sign things all the time and not always sure, not always, they don't always read what they sign. And it's just again, reinforcing that, two things, reinforcing that the parent is responsible for monitoring, and the library is, and I think my favorite part, and this is the one that gets controversial, my favorite part is the library is going to protect the privacy of the minor.
Yes.
Yes.
And those two are really important, and I think the parents need to be reminded that by agreeing to get the card, they're agreeing to this policy.
I think that's a
Right.
great idea.
That is a good idea.
Yeah,
I wonder if that should be, I know which one she's talking about, but I wonder if that should be the second thing, where, okay.
No, I like it just the way it is, but
Yeah.
once
think it's
once the
fine.
form gets done, it can just either make a Xerox copy or
Yeah.
this is pretty old school. The forms come in multiple copies, and you just rip off the copy, and it makes it easy for the
Right.
staff too. They don't have to go over to the Xerox machine and make a copy, but
although we have their email, on the form, we have their email, so it'd be easy to do it after they leave.
Yeah.
And QR
Perfect.
code.
Yeah,
Look at
and
that.
also, we're referring to library policies in this document, but of course, we don't have the book of policies attached to the document for people to even
Right,
look at, so now there's that QR code.
Oh, that's
Which
nice.
is-
That's a great
Excellent.
idea.
And I like your idea of the email, a copy.
Yeah. That's a wonderful idea, we'll definitely start doing that.
So do we need to vote to accept? Which, we're looking, so the vote to accept the update?
You know, normally this is sort of procedural stuff, so
Okay,
it's not
perfect.
policy, because it supports our policies, but it's not actually a policy, which is what you guys.
Mm.
Okay.
weigh in on. So it's mostly just for informational purposes,
Okay.
so you guys can kind of see how those policies look
Okay.
on what I'm sure at some point will become very important form.
Hopefully you won't have to use
Yeah.
this one. Okay, so 7D is election of officers, but, so what do we need? We need the chair and
A vice chair is great.
vice chair is great.
Yeah.
Right.
And I would like to not be the vice chair. Can I don't know, Marilyn, if you are tired of being the chair, but I would like to nominate Marilyn to continue in the chair position, because I think you do a really good job.
Thank you very much, and that I would definitely share it with anybody else that would like to, I mean, because there's, you know. I've done it a couple times now, I don't even know.
Yeah, it's
Anyway, so, Mary Ellen. You've done it before.
I've done it before.
Yeah.
I'm fine not doing it.
Okay,
I have a lot of unknowns coming up
Yeah.
and attendance may be an issue in the,
right, okay, okay.
Yeah.
just lots of surprises every day.
Yeah, it is amazing.
Keeps you young.
Okay, so what do we need? We need to, yeah, okay,
I
Better
nominated Marilyn
I don't
for
know.
chairman.
So you're making a motion.
I am making a
Do
motion
we
that,
want, do we want to create a slate and then elect all at once?
okay, so vice chairman.
Who wants to be vice? Who's into vice? Sorry, I couldn't resist.
So what are the responsibilities of vice chair? It is just simply to run through the agenda in Maryland's absence.
Right. And before, when I know, I.
I could be vice chair.
Good contact with Barb.
Would you do that?
I couldn't be vice.
Okay.
Oh, perfect.
I nominate Mary Ellen as, okay, sorry, start over. I nominate Marilyn as chairman and Mary Ellen as vice chairman.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we need anything else? We don't need a secretary or treasurer, so there we are. I think that's good.
And we need a second. Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Okay, opposed? All right, that's that. Moving on. And this is donor recognition. Recognition, sorry about that. This item is included as an opportunity for board members to debrief regarding the outcome of the July 2024 board meeting. A thank you letter was received from Lee Rubik. Before we do the thing, I have
something to say too.
I know it's about Sally Reamer.
No,
Oh, mine is about Sally Reamer.
mine is not me.
Sally and Dave are leaving Saturday.
What? For
They
what?
are like, they're moving them down to a assisted living place close to Gendi. And then, I mean, I'm going, oh my gosh, and that was one of the, and their plan right now is if they're in good enough shape, they'll come back to the summer.
And opening occurs at the manor, they would also, there's no opening at
There's
the
no
manor,
opening,
that's
okay.
why they're going to Vancouver.
Right, so our opportunity to do what we had talked about on the July meeting for Sally is slipped basically right through our fingers because the second is Saturday and that's when they're leaving.
It's fast.
I know. Well, I think it's been in the agenda, we just didn't know about it, you know? So, what Sally Reamer, she headed up this literary for the library for many years.
She was a board member for
And she
a
was-
very long time.
yes, and
And just
so-
a huge supporter.
And she won the library song.
To do what?
She wrote the library song.
The library.
Oh,
That's right.
oh,
She won the competition.
Oh.
I don't know.
Are you gonna sing?
I don't know.
I can hear it in my head, but I don't know it well enough to.
Anyway, so I'm
It's
not
not my
sure
fault.
how we.
My song was for advertising the contest.
Oh, right.
well, but just right off the bat, I think we should have the last case be, I mean, obviously it can't be done before they leave, but it could be done soon and then we could do
Very
some,
least, we need to send her a card.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Very
Send
neat.
that card. But, so we just need to be thinking about, I mean, I guess we can stay in contact with the family. I was, chit chatting back and forth with Kathy and to see if they'll be back. You know, if she can notify me that if they're actually coming
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
And then we can make sure to do something when they're here.
Or we could tape it or something.
It was like, if it's not, if they can't come back doing it's not ideal, but a remote,
Right,
We
that's
could
true
do
too.
it, we could tape it and.
Yeah,
That's a good.
or you know, Zoom kind of where it's
Yeah.
live,
yeah,
Yeah,
and they could participate with
Yeah,
that.
right.
being here, which is not ideal, but.
Yeah.
no, but we're used to that now.
Yeah.
and maybe a while before they come back too.
So
Wow.
we need to think about it and maybe have come up, maybe we can think about it, have a solid, maybe try to have a plan in the next meeting for Sally. Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
so that was my, when I was like, oh, dang,
So the Friends would do an event.
sure, we can do that.
Okay. You guys can go to the Friends and.
Well,
Yeah,
and we have
see
to
if that's
wait for
possible.
Sue to come back.
Yeah, and Sue needs to do it. I mean, the Lee's event would not have been the same without Sue and from his letter too.
Right.
Sue doing
She's
it
the
and
master
reading
at
the
it.
poetry. You know, I mean, that was
Yeah.
perfect.
So for Julie to know, so the Friends is separate, but we, you know, would do, so Sue Paulson is president, I'm the vice. She's
I'm
the
the
secretary. So that's why we're saying, oh, the Friends can do it. Anyway, so, yeah,
I just need to say one thing about Lee, is at the last book sale, somebody donated a book of poetry. And it was, you could read a poem a day. And so and it's really nicely illustrated, it's a beautiful book, and nobody bought it. So Lila went and brought, I think, 3 books up to the long-term care, and that was one that went in Lee Rivik's room. And the staff said they would read a poem a day.
oh,
Nice.
So I don't know if that is actually happening, but the book is there. I just thought that was perfect.
that is good.
Nice ending to the
Yeah.
whole situation.
So anybody else have thoughts about our discussion in July besides me jumping in there with Sally and?
Well, maybe we need to think about, okay, Sally definitely, but is there somebody else that we should be thinking about before it's too late?
Yeah, there's that too.
I don't know.
I think during the meeting in July, there was some talk about, or maybe taking a closer look at that policy and how it's written.
Yes,
And there was some ambiguity in the wording.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
right.
And so if you guys like, I
mhm,
can bring that document
yes,
when there's no pressure for you guys to
Yeah.
take a look
Yeah.
at it.
Good
That's
idea.
And,
adjust
um,
policy ahead
and
of time.
Just propose some potential changes based on what I understood the conversation was
Yes,
at
Perfect.
that meeting, because there was something specific. I remember Deb pulling it out. There's some very specific
Mhm.
ambiguous wording in there
Uh-huh.
that I think at very least needs to be
yeah,
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 tightened up. So that it's
Absolutely.
clear what we do and what we don't do and how we do it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
so I'll bring that to a future meeting
okay.
for you guys to look at.
Okay,
Yeah, and I don't remember what the word, which section it was, but I remember saying that and I think that would be good if we can
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
And then I just wanted to say, I really appreciated the letter that obviously Lee didn't write it himself.
Yeah.
Hopefully it was
Mhm.
mostly his words.
excellent.
But it really put into context that this board anyway ended up doing the right thing for the
yes,
board and for our future, just complying with policy. But in the end, both the family and Lee felt really
Yeah.
appreciated and it was just a good reinforcement of making the right decision. So I
yes,
appreciated getting that letter.
And I appreciate Sue Paulson taking the time to
Yes.
be here for that, because that really, she did a fantastic job and you did a fantastic
Yeah.
job. It just was so well done.
yeah,
It was a nice event. and
It
I'm
was a very nice event. Yes,
happy that we honored Lee. Lee
Yes.
deserved it.
Well, because, yeah, you know, too, that made it very comprehensive, you
yes,
know.
It was
and
appropriate.
The scope of it was beyond what I expected.
yeah.
And again, it was really nice. I thought that was, the board navigated that situation, and I think there was some room to navigate it within, I don't know if you can policy that up, really.
I'm not sure either, Alan,
Yeah, so.
but I'm
so
gonna
that-
try.
There was that ambiguity, though, I
Yes.
remember in the writing, and it struck out at me, once I read it carefully, I went, oh, this could be seen either or.
I know
And-
it brings up the issues of like, on one end, like Lizzie's comments, so,
Yeah.
saying just for rich people and, I mean, it just goes, well, that puts it in relief, so
Uh-huh.
you realize it. It's so it's a bit of, there's some work to do there.
Mhm.
There was some work to do. It was hard to. Balance
Mhm.
all the concerns and,
Right,
yeah.
our concerns and the concerns that were brought to us.
I think it's a good idea to take a close look at it and see what we
Yeah.
can do to make it bulletproof and very clear for next time something like that comes up.
Right. Which now has ones, it could come up again,
Yes. Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
Okay, any other comments or concerns? Okay, we'll move on to 8B, which is the Friends update, and we have Barb to do
Yes.
that.
The October book sale really was good. I wrote down, we've had 3 sales this year. One was in January, we had a pop-up sale, just a real pop-up puzzles, blah, 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 brought in $300. April was the most we've ever made at a book sale, which was $900. I know.
You're turning this into a business.
And October, was, $600, plus there's money that came in afterwards, because we have these Christmas plates. That some people thought that, oh, I really did want a Christmas plate, can I take a second look at them? So I was here, and yes, and we sold 4 more. So we still have more to sell if, and we're thinking Mary Clemens, who is the cleanup chair. And I were thinking of doing something in Christmas, just a pop-up Christmas, something somewhere, we don't know where yet. I don't know if, I was talking to Maureen from the museum. I don't know if that's a possibility, and she doesn't either. So we thought we'd have a chat this week, just to, just have a couple tables set up with Christmas books, puzzles, the plates. And just, it would not be a silent auction, it would just be everything is a certain price and they.
Have you guys thought about the Christmas bazaar?
How much does that cost?
Well,
Table.
Get a table? I don't know.
Okay,
Tables
there's
are not
gonna be
that
2
expensive.
venues again. And,
I don't wanna be part of it, I don't think wanna be part of the Sun's Christmas Bazaar.
yeah, I was actually gonna say not to even have it that weekend.
Oh, it would be,
It would be
the
the
following weekend.
Okay.
The 14th, I think
Okay.
is a Saturday.
Okay,
It's not, definitely not the first Saturday.
right,
The cookie walk at the Lutheran Church is the 14th, but that
Oh,
starts
so-
at 10, and that is usually over in an hour because cookies are gone.
right, and then also it's the dance recital that night. So there
That's
will,
okay.
yeah, no, it is, so there'll be people out moving around that.
Yeah. So we just need to figure out does anybody have a comment about the museum? Is that something that is possible to do, or?
The only thing I can see is that, well, moving everything over
No,
there. And they have an event. The museum does at Christmas. and
Yes,
I-
but it's Sunday, I believe.
Is that okay? I don't know
need to
what
talk
day.
to her. I think it's Sunday.
Okay. So, yeah, I don't,
I mean, is there a legality involved that would prevent us from being able to be at the museum?
That's up to the museum, I think.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, there's not, we're talking two tables smaller than this. We had it in the lobby last year. Or in January.
the one problem I can see is when you say it's a pop-up book sale. People might stop listening and they'll just automatically come to the library.
Possible.
You know, some people just read the first line of everything, not the second line.
Well, I thought this one would be good, but Tara had a very good comment that I think there's 12 or 14 is the legal limit to
Yeah,
be
the
in this
capacity
room.
limit, I think it's 12.
Oh,
Yeah,
So
that's
that would be,
So events, we don't do events in this room, we just do
Right.
Yeah.
meetings, yeah.
yeah.
anybody else?
But if somebody comes up with a super idea, but your thought on, they would think it was, that's a good thought.
Because I mean, it's always here,
It's always been,
yeah. And it just would throw people off.
Oh, I think, if you go to the wage cut.
Who?
Wait.
Oh, that's right.
oh,
What event? They just did an event. What did
It's
they
a
do?
pretty nice room. Well, they did a.
Oh.
Oh.
In the food ferry?
We did a training there for the hospital, it's not, it's a decent space.
Okay. That might be an interesting
Yeah,
one, just
to
because
be
it's
more
downtown.
there than there would be at the museum.
Right,
No, it's a big space,
Yeah.
a decent size space.
it's an idea, but it might be more work. And it,
Yeah,
and probably,
and we may not want to do it because of the amount of work involved.
What are we talking about as far as quantity goes?
Yeah.
What are we looking at here? Just books
Probably-
that are Christmas related?
We've probably got now there's a lot of Christmas books and kids' Christmas books. I would say 4 or 5 boxes of books, the plates fit in one box, puzzles. Tables, unless there's tables there, if we have to bring
I
tables,
think
and
they have tables and chairs that are.
if they have tables there, then that would, yeah.
Couldn't we just have it here?
I think you're just, yeah. I think it's a good idea to do,
Yeah,
yeah, but I think very honest, I think it just needs to be here,
I wish we still had the Christmas literary,
yeah.
see, and I haven't even,
but that was a lot of work.
that is a lot of work.
And you did a lot of it.
I did.
Yeah,
But I loved it.
yeah.
I just love sitting and listening to Christmas stories.
Now, I don't, this is just off the top of my head, the teen room, is that even a possibility to use that room or no?
No, it's really for the teens.
See, I
That's
don't,
what's-
I'm assuming that the community room is booked. And I think with just 2 tables in there, it would look. Yeah, I don't,
Well, if you just say small.
a
books
small
and
book pop up.
Christmas
So at the
specific.
meeting that we had with the friends about the book sale, I think we agreed to 2 book sales a year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so we're
For the
also for
library.
the library.
For in the library.
Right.
could we just
So
put
this
them
will
on
make it full.
display in the area where they're, feature them in that other
Mhm.
section?
That's an idea too.
And just put them up prominently on display.
Yeah, just maybe like have a box on top where you can
Yeah,
flip
For
through
Christmas.
of Christmas and put that.
Decorate it
Good idea.
like a big
Mary.
Santa sleigh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's.
And
great.
have the Christmas plates there. But
Yeah.
then the problem is then with the.
Like it'd be Santa.
Yeah, you could be Queen Christmas,
Would-
yeah.
Would that be too much
I think
on your
so.
staff? I think we don't have
Because
that.
they'd be coming up to the.
So the question is,
Would that be too much for the staff to have the Christmas books where the book sale is now?
oh,
So-
Christmas books would be fine. I'm hesitant to put anything about books. I'm
Right,
not
but
sure
not the plates.
plates,
yeah.
but yeah, I think Christmas books,
Okay.
that's a really cool idea. Yeah.
What
That
do we do
sounds
about
nice.
the plates?
Facebook.
By self trade.
Yeah.
Or do it as the library,
Or
friends of the library on Facebook, I don't know how that works, but
Yeah,
I don't either, because I don't do Facebook, but.
social media does a lot though. but-
Oh, yeah.
well, that can be talked about for friends.
Yeah,
So we
Yeah.
talk about the
Individuals
friends being
could.
the plates, but if that's
So, like-
okay. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
No.
So an individual could do their own post, not on the library page, or saying, hey, support the friends of the
Right.
library.
ah,
Yeah, on Bicycle
yes.
Trade.
We're selling these plates.
Now, when you do we do photos on.
That's on the
Facebook.
library Facebook page, but Buy Sell Trade has a huge readership.
yeah,
They do,
There's a lot. of-
versus the library's page.
And
yeah.
there's more than Bicycle Trade, there's several social
Yeah.
media platforms where people sell stuff, so. My friends in the library, hey, we're doing this and bunch of stuff.
Right.
So someone who would do it on Buy Sell Trade would have to be available to get the plates to.
They'd have to take it on.
Yeah,
It'd be
that
their-
would be a take on thing.
Yeah. So we'll talk about it in the friends meeting. And,
When's the next friends meeting?
let's see what's that.
When is it?
But as long as it's okay with Tara, then, in maybe towards the end of November, we can get the books up on the.
Well, it depends if we, I may talk to Wade, and I did tell
Oh, okay.
Wade I would talk to her, so. I
Okay.
need to follow up on
Okay.
that.
All right, but if it's here, we're gonna do books or boxes on top of the shelves.
But that's gonna be
With the
the
Christmas
Christmas
books.
That got to be
Okay.
a lot more work for the person at the front desk.
Not really. We're selling a book at the front desk, it's not,
Okay,
yeah.
perfect. Anything else on the book sale?
The only thing I'll say is the silent auction has been worked fabulous. Over $200 of that $600 is silent auctions.
Uh-huh.
But we only would have had 50 cents or $1 for each one of those items. So, the other thing is the Don Cornelius paintings.
Right.
That was a hit. And the lady who won, who had the top bid, she had to leave, and it was about 15 minutes before noon. And she said, I can't believe, I don't know what to do. So she put down $20 more on her bid in hopes that somebody would see that she had bid more and they wouldn't bid. Well, it worked. She got the painting.
Oh, nice.
And I don't know if you guys know the background about this, because it's
No,
all,
yeah.
since our last regular meeting is, John McCabe had an idea, because there's a lot of older artists with a lot of extra
Yeah.
artwork in their
Mhm.
basements and
Mhm.
attics. And his idea is that if, a couple of times a year, the library could have a silent auction to, and have people donate, just one artist donate, say 2 pieces, as Don did. And Don and John are friends. So he mentioned it to Dawn, and Dawn said, oh yeah, she can come talk to me. So I did. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Fascinating and such a
Yeah.
talented
Did he let you
artist.
choose?
He
No.
had a couple and I got to choose,
Oh,
and it was
nice.
fantastic. And so, that's the idea, and then that we will do this. I mentioned to John, we should do this with Friends Book Sale, because their silent auction is already so
April.
popular.
April,
And so April,
we did. Who
yeah,
would you have as an artist?
I have already, I will not say her name because this goes on YouTube.
Okay.
I already have an artist who I'm
Cool.
speaking with.
Okay,
I think would be fabulous, so
good.
hopefully we can.
So
do that.
so I need to book that for Saturday and April.
Sorry, that's actually not a bad idea. Actually, I'll make a note and I'll be sure to do it.
And also the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Having those 4 days was critical because people were bringing in books all 4 days.
Wow,
Big boxes, right?
Boxes of books, yeah.
that's the only problem with only having the 2 sales a year. You end up
Yeah,
with
so
such a
that's okay.
volume.
It worked, as long as we have the 4 days.
And
Yeah.
your bookshelf, I wish I had the actual numbers. I'm gonna just speak off the top of my head right now. That bookshelf that
Yeah.
replaced the carts.
Right. How much money?
July, like
Yeah, how much?
14th. Don't quote me on this, because I'm speaking off the top of my head, July 14th through like October 14th, so it's just a couple months, nearly $1,000.
Yes,
With,
that
with just a small amount of work in comparison to the big.
well,
ones.
and also that includes the book sale, the people that paid at the front desk.
Only 2 people paid at the front desk,
Oh,
and amounted to $36, and it's been removed from that.
Oh, my God.
Besides $1,000.
Just that passive sale
Yeah.
is incredibly
Good.
lucrative. When I saw that number, I was like, pardon me, that's amazing. So people are finding it.
Oh,
Yes.
And they are using it.
I'm usually here 2 or 3 times a week and I need more books. Do you have more books sitting in your office?
I think we have some children's books.
They're in there. Is
Yeah,
there anything
that's it.
else?
Yeah, no,
Is that
that's
it? Okay, because Cindy and I are available this week to fill that. So we'll put the children's books out. It won't be today, but tomorrow.
Yeah, so
Cool.
the passive book sale is quite lucrative
And so it's
and less work than a book sale.
Yeah,
it's
For
okay
you
for
guys.
people to bring a bag of books in because we have room in the archive room to store them.
Okay,
And I will pick them up. I've done that too.
so do you need, one of us to go on Tradio and alert people, or will that be too much?
That may be too much.
Okay. Okay.
about,
About bringing
That we
books
need
in.
books.
oh, bringing
If
donations.
they wanna know,
no.
yeah.
No.
My office is not that big.
Would you
Okay.
say that again in March, please?
Oh,
Yeah,
For
sure.
April sale.
Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
But then
Alright.
it's really well, and also you had the back door open, so people could come in the back to. And it was- what great.
Okay, well, thank you, Barb.
Yeah.
Thank you for all your hard work. on that.
Yes, and it's a
Great.
lot.
And Cindy and Mary also.
Right,
And like that.
I skated on that. Okay, so, C, gratitudes. We want to
Oh.
thank Gina Esposito for service to the library board, for serving on the library board. And also to Sue Paulson for leading the Lee Rivik event.
And Ariella for reading the poem.
Well, I just
Yeah.
read a couple things.
Oh, you know,
I had more I wanted to
No,
read.
you
but-
did it so well, though.
You did,
You
it was
did.
really, it was, very,
Very well done.
moving,
Mhm.
nice. And thank you to Don Cornelius for donating the paintings for the Friends Silent
Yes.
Auction. 600 and what was it,
670.
670,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
We
And
get,
great.
it's very, let's see, we got, oh, did I write down? Yes, we got 350 for one and 320 for the other.
Excellent.
And then we started out at $200, and I think that was a good first bid.
Sure,
So I'm thinking thank you cards for these folks.
okay,
Lizzie's not here to ask.
right, right.
So I'll ask her by email, and if she doesn't have time, is there anyone here who would like to be a second to write a thank you
I
card?
can,
Okay,
I can.
and I can
second.
provide
Okay.
the cards. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll check in with her.
Sounds good. Okay, so the next meeting. Tara, what do we do? Is it right before Thanksgiving? Or do we need,
You know, we don't have to meet every month, we
Right.
meet as needed.
okay,
I think probably the beginning of December, because late December obviously
Yeah.
is never working.
right,
Mhm.
And January, I'm gone for most of the month.
okay,
And so I'm thinking like early December would be great.
Yeah.
Like, I think the 14th is a Tuesday. I think I'm right.
yeah, I might, no, the 14th is not a Tuesday.
It's not a
The
Tuesday?
14th is a Saturday, it's the dance recital.
Definitely not then. But as it gets closer, I'm thinking either the first or second Tuesday.
Okay,
I'll send out one of my usual emails to figure out where.
December 10 or 17.
Okay, I'll send her an email as it gets a little closer to see where you guys will be on those days and make sure
Right.
you have a forum.
I might be gone, but we'll see, oh, no.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll find out. Okay, yeah, sounds good.
So I
Alright,
just
everybody.
I just want to let folks know, I'm gonna be actually out of town the first 2 weeks of December, but go ahead and meet without me. And the second, and in November, I already let Tara know this. I did get a travel scholarship from the University of Alaska Fairbanks to go to the Tribal Archives, Library and Museums Conference in Palm Springs in the middle of
Oh, wow.
November.
Wow,
And
cool.
so when I come back, hopefully I can make a report back to you what I find, which I hope is gonna be a wealth of stuff.
Sure.
For not just the library, but also the museum and for Petersburg Indian Association, so. And, but I can do that in January or February if I miss the December meeting.
I'll make a point of putting that on the agenda, Deb, because I looked at the conference program. It's insane.
It's
like-
insane.
It's insane.
It's like
There's
I'm
so
gonna
many-
be up, yeah, I'm gonna be up for 48 hours or
Yeah.
however, it's only 2.5
Yeah.
days and I'm just gonna dose myself up on caffeine and try to do as much as I can.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, that's excellent.
Wow.
Good for you.
And then I gotta get going.
Yes.
Yeah, I do too.
Well, a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All those in favor?
I.
Opposed? Okay, the meeting is adjourned. 1:08.
See you, Deb.
Thank you for.
Bye.
popping in.
See,
Okay,
see you,
bye.
see you next week.
It's on the 14th, I believe.